have over 10 sewing makes to share with you. I'm going to start out with a pattern that I had in my stash for a very long time, and I finally got around to making it. That is going to be Simplicity 7277. This is a vintage pattern. I made the view that the model is wearing with her hands in her pockets. It does have elastic around the bottom of the leg. It has ties at the shoulders. There is elastic that goes around the upper edge of the front and the back. I did add pockets to the back of the jumpsuit, and there are 2 pockets in the front. This garment is very comfortable. I really like it, and I put it in the category of patterns that I had for a long time that I finally got around to sewing. Next, I'm going to talk about a moment when I stepped out of the box, and that was when I found this fabric at a thrift store. I loved the actual fabric because I think it's a linen, but I wasn't so sure that I was crazy about the print. I don't wear a lot of prints, and I also don't wear a lot of floral fabric prints, so I wanted to give this a try just to kind of do something different. So I made this top, which is a vintage pattern. It is Simplicity 3115. It does have buttons down the back. It has a couple of darts in the front, and I ended up really liking the fabric. Now I made the skirt first. The skirt is Simplicity 8211, and after I made the skirt, I had this fabric left over enough to make the top. So I decided to go ahead and make a top so that I can have a matching set. And here I have the skirt over the top, so the top is tucked into the skirt. The most involved sewing make I made this year was Vogue 2045. This is a dress, and it just had a lot of details. I remember there were a lot of darts. You have epaulets at the shoulder, which is a tab that folds over and it buttons. You have an invisible zipper in the back. I did the sleeves in a contrasting color, so I did like a little color block on the sleeve. You have a vent in the back. You have a faux pocket on the front, and I ended up adding another faux pocket because there was only one on the pattern. So I added another one. It closes at the top with a hook and an eye. So I love this dress. I've worn it a couple of times to church. This falls into the category of the most involved sewing make of 2025 for me. Next, I have the easiest sewing pattern that I've made that I've worn the most, and that is going to be Simplicity 3088, which is this apron dress. I made it in this denim fabric. What I really love about it is that the pockets on the front are really nice and deep. There is a bow in the back, and I actually keep the bow tied up, and when I want to wear the garment, I step into it, and I don't worry about taking the bow off or undoing the bow every time. I love this because I can just slip it on over whatever I'm wearing, and I can leave the house and it looks like I'm fully dressed, especially from the front. And there have been so many times when I've been sitting around the house lounging and I need to run out to the store and I may have on like a pajama set. I'll throw this on over the top. Yes, I've done that. And I'll run to the store, come back, slip the dress back off, hang it up, and I'm back in my loungewear. This dress is rated as easy. I did lengthen it because I love long dresses. And yeah, I am really happy with this, and I've worn it so many times. This is another garment that can fall into the category of patterns that it took me forever to get around to making, but it also falls into the category of my proudest make this year, and that is this jumpsuit, which is McCall's 8101. I was really intimidated and kind of afraid to jump in and make this pattern because it called for boning. I had never used boning before, and I didn't have any boning, and so it took me forever to actually jump in, bite the bullet, and just go ahead and give it a try. And I love the results. I absolutely love this pattern. I love the jumpsuit. It has buttons down the front pockets, straps, the boning on the inside, and I just love it. I love it so much, and I'm glad that I finally got around to giving it a go. My biggest flop and biggest disappointment of the year is going to be Butterick 7040. And the reason is because I used the wrong fabric. It has a lined bodice, and the knit fabric that I used did not stretch enough horizontally. So I really had a hard time getting the dress on and taking the dress off. And when it was on, it just pulled and just shifted every which way, and it just did not look right. It didn't feel right. So I don't have this dress to show you, but I will add a link to the description box if you want to see the dress and see me making it. Next up, I'm going to talk about patterns that I made more than twice. And the first one that I've made several times is McCall's 8563. Oh, I love this pants pattern. I haven't made the top. I made the pants in knit fabric, and I also made the pants in woven. The first pair that I made was the gingham pair. Then I also made a pair in denim. I love the black pair, and I did add pockets to the side. And then I also made this last pair in a knit, which is, I guess, kind of like a taupe color. I really love how the waistband is done in these pants. It has elastic thread through, and I think it really gives a nice look. But yes, I love this pattern. I love how wide the legs are on the pants, and they're very comfortable, very easy to make. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make the pattern again since I have 4 pair, but definitely a pattern that I made more than once, more than twice, 4 times. The next garment that I made more than once is the crop jacket, which is Nomi 2089. I actually made this jacket 3 times. So I'll just show 2 of the jackets, which I've shown before because I wear them so much. So I have the brown one, love it. And I can pair it with a lot of different things. And then the denim one, I wear this one a lot too. I love the details on these jackets. I especially love the little pleat that's in the back. And I hardly ever wear it with a belt. I usually just throw the jacket on as is and just wear it with whatever I'm pairing it with. I love that they're cropped. And I think this pattern is just so, so cute. Speaking of patterns I've made over and over, I made several bucket hats, and I used the same pattern. I'll put it on the screen. I forgot to write it on my iPad. But I used the same pattern, and I made so many hats out of scrap fabric. This one I made to actually match the jumpsuit. I never did put any interfacing in any of the hats that I made because I realized that I kind of like the floppy look. I think it gives it some character. So I love that. And you could put the interfacing and make it a little more stiff, but yeah, I didn't. And I probably won't if I ever make it again because I kind of like that, you know? So yeah, another pattern that I've made over and over again. I love making scrapbuster garments, using up scraps to make something different. This skirt falls into the category of my favorite scrapbuster project, McCall's 8609. I just took some different fabric and I added these strips down the front, I used some faux leather around the pockets. It does have a zipper in the back, and I love the way it turned out. Love it so much, and it wasn't hard to make. So yes, this is my favorite scrapbuster garment of 2025. This green jacket is McCall's 8561, and I'm actually wearing it with the skirt that's also in this pattern, 8561. And then I have it paired with the bodysuit. I absolutely love this jacket so much. I did add a pocket to the sleeve, and it has pockets down the front. It fits oversized. It has buttons down the front. I put this in the category of garments I thought that I would wear more than once. I've only worn this jacket one time, even though I love it so much. So next year my plan is to incorporate it a little more and wear it more often, because yeah, I think it's so nice. Such a great pattern. Today's dinner is beef and peppers over rice. And then I love to bake, so I decided to make these mini apple pies. So I just made one for myself and one for my husband. Oh my goodness, this with a little whipped cream, so good.